All right, President Trump's demolition of the White House East Wing is sparking backlash from lawmakers and historians. Check out this video of the construction here. It's all part of the president's new ballroom project. CBS News senior White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs is joining us now from our Washington bureau to talk about this. So Jennifer, first break down for our viewers the reaction that we're seeing to this demolition from those historians and from lawmakers, and then explain to us which offices are being impacted.
Well, the big news that we are realizing today is that the East Wing, as we knew it, is gone. This demolition project was much more dramatic than we first understood. The project has almost fully torn down the East Wing as we knew it. That has historic preservationists very concerned. Some of them, including a National Trust for Historic Preservation, would like to put a pause on the demolition. It seems like it's too late for that. It's just gone, Vlad. They were really upset that the fact that President Trump didn't go through the normal channels of having historic review and opening this up to public comment. But the demolition has advanced more than we originally thought. Now, my sources told me a little bit about what has been torn down. So the East Wing as we know it was built originally in the early 1900s, but this iteration had been renovated and rebuilt in 1942 during FDR, during World War II. And it was the domain of first ladies such as Eleanor Roosevelt and Jackie Kennedy and Nancy Reagan and Michelle Obama. And it was in these workspaces that the social business of the White House was conducted. It was also the visitor's office. There was a main lobby where visitors would stroll through on their public tours. And then also when the president's fancy guests would show up for formal receptions and state dinners, they would stroll through this area. It was also the offices for the legislative aides and for the White House military officials who handled all the basic functions of the White House, including food service and medical and transportation. And all those offices have now been razed.
Wow. All right. So Jennifer, I recall the president, I don't know if he said it during just a chat with reporters from the Oval, but that he indicated that the East Wing wouldn't really be all that much affected. What was the size of this project and the size of the demolition? Was that kept from the public, and could we see more of the White House be demolished?
President Trump was not as forthright about this project as he could have been. In fact, he admitted to us on Monday that he has concealed some of this. He jokingly said, I tell people that the ballroom capacity will be about 999 because I don't want to crack 1,000 because then people get concerned at the size of this project. And CBS has reported that it actually is bigger than they initially told us. So, yes, there has been some concern that he has not been as open about what the project will include, what all will be rebuilt, and this just wasn't an addition. It wasn't just a ballroom addition as they implied. It's a full demolition, and interestingly, Vlad, it was built in secrecy by FDR in World War II to conceal an underground bunker.
All right, and so again, Trump not being the first one, that's to be expected. But let's talk about who's doing the redesign and what it's going to cost ultimately. Because, anybody who's renovated, all of us, everybody here in the studio, anybody watching this who's ever tried to renovate, you, Jennifer, ever tried to renovate a part of your home, you start out with a budget, and then next thing you know, the wife is like, well, no, we got to do this, we got to add this, we got to do that. And so the question, of course, is how much could this redesign cost, and who's going to foot the bill?
So far, it has been paid for by private donors. It's estimated to cost about $250 million. And they have so far raised that money. And I've been told that the money that they have left over up and above and beyond that $250 million will go to a triumphal arch that the president wants to build. Now, could the president build even more things on the White House campus? We know that he was up on the West Wing roof a couple weeks ago, surveying the White House campus, looking at the buildings and looking at the structures. And if he wanted to go for architectural symmetry, would he actually build more over on the west side instead of just the east side? It's just unclear. No indications of that yet, but we'll keep an eye on that one for more projects.
So we just flashed an image there, Jennifer, of what this potential arch could look like. Of course, brings to mind the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, France. I don't know if we have a picture of it, but that's what it looks like, reminding our viewers that the Arc de Triomphe in Paris was built by Napoleon Bonaparte, an emperor. He did it to commemorate all the lives lost and all of his military exploits. Who is the president commemorating with this arch?
Not clear. He hasn't really spelled it out. He just told us that he's still looking at whether he wants it to be small, medium, or large, and he prefers the large size.
I'm not surprised. Jennifer Jacobs, always great to have you. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.